Okay, hello. Start streaming has been pressed. Wait, I don't have my chat up. Am I a fucking noob? YouTube's telling me something. Is this thing on? Is anybody in the chat? Can you guys hear me? Etc. Anybody in the chat? Okay, looks like it is on. I see one comment so far from Lavender saying that you secretly like men. I mean, it is what it is. It's the first comment. Let me tag my Discord. DCV, how is it going? Wait, did my camera fucking freeze already? What is wrong with my camera? This might be unfortunate. My camera's like overheating. Don't know what the deal is with that. Samer OP. Yo, I'm your biggest fan. Appreciate that. Prodigy Willie G, the mouse and keyboard master. What is going on? Yes, sir. Yeah, I don't know why the camera would freeze already. That's not helpful. And now it's not even fucking on. Technical difficulties. Always good to start off the stream. And I can't even show. Okay, now I can. The Beast X Max Zebra Edition. Very shocking. Very zebra. I don't know when it's going to release. Not sure how many there are going to be, but it did arrive recently. Catherine, what is going on? Do you have the Death Air V3 Hyperspeed yet? No. I will be getting that on Monday. There was just some slight delay with getting my unit from Razer, and yeah, I should have just ordered it the day it went live, honestly, because then I would have had it already, and it would have been another mouse to discuss, but it seems very good. I'm surprised that they're using the Viper Ultimate sensor, not even like the Viper V2 Pro, but they implemented some like raw Excel feature. It's just, to me, it's very bizarre. Is my chat frozen or is my stream dead? Oh, my chat was frozen. Shocking. What happened to the MM712 Pro? It's fucking Cooler Master. They're, in my mind, like on a very similar tier to like HyperX, where it's just like, you can't really expect greatness. Yo, how's it going, Toxic? It has been good for me. Does my camera need to move a little bit this way? Could that be what was causing the overheating? Probably not. But I got another fingertip mouse in, the Dharmashark M5. I think it's like, the official name is something stupid, like fishhead something. Best 100 USD mice. I mean, that's just a price point where there's so many options. The new Razer mouse launched at 100, the Sora V2's at 100, every Lamzu mouse, like most Pulsar mice, like there are just so many mice at that price point. It's like you gotta have a little bit more. Like budget mice, if you're like, I have $50, I need a mouse, it's like, okay, you're fucking desperate. Like there are a few options, but 100, that's like most of the mouse market, aside from like the really high-end stuff. Did bro finally receive his X1? No, but I do have some updates. I'm sure some of you guys saw on Twitter my email with ATK where they're just fucking like pulling teeth, like trying just all sorts of weird business practices. But I was able to email them and they're like, yeah, we'll just send you a mouse. I explained what an independent American mouse review consists of, so I should be getting the X1 Pro or the Ultra sent out from them, and I have my F1 Ultimate on the way that I actually ordered. So will I get ATK Mice at some point? Most likely. I also got, since the last stream, a new Sora V2. Like, I actually have my own copy. It's fucking amazing. Both the fact that I have it and the mouse itself. Much better than I remember, aside from, like, the click quality. I mean, look at this poster and just side-to-side wobble. It's like they're not even fucking trying. It's incredible that other people, some people are like, my click quality is fine. And it's like, do I even believe that? But yeah, just like, truly just the loosest, most side wobble. Pretty crazy. Yo, Boardy, you're gonna review the SpongeBob mouse? I don't know if I got that. Did I get the fucking SpongeBob chair? No, I almost like was forced to buy that by TikTok. But yeah, I actually don't know if I have the SpongeBob mouse. I think I have. Wagwan, what's going on, man? That was a good song, Wagwan Delilah. But it kind of it fell off. Like, it was, people were talking about it, then people stopped talking about it. That's how a lot of things are. Have you heard of the next ULX Pro series? The Tarek? Not the Tarek, the ACU one? Yeah. But I don't know much about it. And I messaged Final Boy yesterday asking if the cheetah size was really going to be discontinued, because that's rumored. But he didn't respond to me. So maybe Final Boy hates me. Not sure. I main a Sora V2 and the clicks are nothing like that. They're solid. That's just interesting. Like, I understand why people like this mouse so much. And the build quality is like just really remarkable at the sides, at least. So it's just crazy that the click quality is so drastically different. And I don't know if like I'm even bother getting a new one at this point. Best mousepad for competitive Fortnite. I mean, I don't know. A Hien or a Zero can get you pretty far. I don't know what set he's using, but probably just whatever he uses. 'Cause he is very, he takes my advice, so I assume he's using something good. The Dharmashark M2. Yeah, I got that sent out to me as well, but that's just like in a box somewhere behind me because I just have too many mice at the moment. Like, I just gotta like fucking catch up with my backlog before I start checking other stuff out. And that's just gonna be more of like just checking out that unit's revisions compared to my first one, which was an atrocity, but the weight balancing does seem to be better, but I haven't like plugged it in and used it too much. Some part of my Pulsar ES2 feels a lot bumpier than other parts of my Cook, maybe. The Pulsar ES2, like Pulsar's non-glass pads, I've always felt were just only average. I don't even think I've done individual reviews. I might have included them in one roundup, but yeah, they've never really impressed me that much. A lot of mouse pads don't, though. Might just be a me thing. Best upgrade from the LA1. That's in. Maybe like wait for the XM2 like wireless, like the actual proper one. Could be a similar shape. Beast X Max might make sense. I don't know. How are you liking the cherry mice? I actually, since my last stream, I had kind of just gotten them, and I didn't put a lot of time on the M64, but for an Ergo, like, I just actually like the shape a lot. There's no quality issues, like, with the side buttons and the low button height. I can kind of actually appreciate it, so I don't know. I'll talk more about the shape in my review, but it surprised me, because I figured I was just going to, like, hate this, and then the other one I was just going to say is worse than the Viper V3 Pro, but that's not quite the case. So yeah, I'd say, I don't know what price they're going to launch at. If it's like 130, I mean, I'd say it feels a tad high, but if it's less than that, probably a good price. Are you playing Fortnite Reload? Whenever that drops, is that going to drop, like, is it out already? I figured after stream, whenever it drops, I would go play it. But yeah, that did, it did kind of excite me, just because, I mean, playing anything that isn't like a comp mode with cars removed is just fucking like unplayable this season. Nah, it's gonna be 130. I mean, that's, I don't know. I understand, like, especially the Ergo, where it's not a saturated market. Like, it could be worth that. And yeah, it just does. They feel like big improvements compared to the past generation of Extra 5 mice. Do you have the Death Hour V3 Mini on the way? Yeah, I have one from Razer. I regret not just getting it overnight shipped from Amazon the day it ordered. There was just like some company politics that delayed my my mouse getting sent. It's because I did not do the briefing for the Death Adder V3 Hyperspeed at an earlier time. So that one's on me. But I will get that mouse and I will review it soon. Don't you worry. Best mouse for fingertip. I mean, for me, it's like the ULX Cheetah, or I mean, even the medium size. But there's a lot of solid options, and now like there's actually not completely unusable fingertip mice with the HTR, whatever this is, the Dharmashark M5. This is a very interesting fingertip mouse because you guys see, like, it kind of listens to what I ask for. Like, it just has flat sides. It kind of feels like an X2 V2 Mini if it was just actually chopped off. And I was always so confused why, like, fingertip mice would just be so fucking bizarre. But this one, it's all right. I know people hate Dharmashark, but the clicks feel really cheap. I remember prophetically a few years ago with like the original HSK, I was like, if you're making a fingertip mouse where like the clicks are one of the only fucking buttons, it takes up like half the mouse, just do it right. But I've yet to try a fingertip mouse with a really premium feeling click implementation. The real question is, what the fuck does hyperspeed mean anymore? Yeah, I asked that. I was like, if there's no battery, why is it a hyperspeed? And they're like, oh, hyperspeed's just like a budget line. I'm like, is that true? I guess. But yeah, I mean, stuff like that, I've just accepted that Razer's naming, like, I don't understand the, like, what the process is behind it. Like, why is the Cobra a new mouse line, but then the Viper V3 is a new shape? Is that like a sales tactic? Maybe someone with a marketing degree would know, because that's the type of tech that is. Zowie U2, yay or nay? I think it's good. Like, I really think the U2 is one of maybe the best shape to release this year. And I actually saw in my video, like, top 5 mice of the year, I got a lot of comments from U2 users. So I don't know if that's a vocal minority, like Zowie users seem to be, but I don't know. I would say go for it if you're interested. Worst case scenario, like, just return it if it really doesn't work for you. And they have a good RMA as well. Zaunkunig's buttons are fucking great, true. But Zaunkunig's shape kind of falls flat for me. But I'm excited to get my M3K, but I saw it was fucking delayed. I'm part of the June batch. It's June right now, fun fact. but I won't be getting it until July or August. And to me, that sounds like late August, potentially September. So, I mean, that kind of sucks, but it is what it is. U2 has grown a cult following, but it doesn't seem widespread for whatever reason. I feel like the click latency genuinely is a big part of that reason, like for the enthusiast scene, which probably impacts that. Boardy, what is your ethnicity? I'm like a Eastern European mutt, pretty much, like mostly Russian, I'd guess. But it's just, it's a mix-up. Is the Zowie U2 like the S2 shape? It's somewhat like the S2 hump, but besides that, not really. Like, the sides and just the way you're gonna lock into the shape is completely different. X-Ray found Cicadas V2 or Super Grips. Cicadas feel a bit more natural, like not like there's some type of non-mouse grip tape, which I feel the Super Grips somewhat are, but it just, whatever's cheaper. I mean, both are gonna provide a grip tape experience. Keychron M4 or Dharmo M5. I'll have to pull out the M4. I actually haven't tried that recently. That's a good comm. You excited for the XT1? Is that the nitrite one? I mean, it's just, until I have a mouse in my hand, I'm just not going to believe that company actually makes mice. How's your Tarek holding up? Any yellowing or coating issues? No, not at all. And the build quality on my Tarex it's just really fucking good. So yeah, I've not too much to say. I've probably been using my small more than my medium. I really tried to put G-Wolf's clay on this, and I don't know if, like, I'm inept. It's entirely possible, but I just couldn't get it to feel good. Maybe it's just because of, like, how curved the sides are. Like, the HTR is a shape that's made with clay modification in mind, but I kept trying. I'm like, this just fucking sucks, and then I didn't try it on the OP1 yet. What do you think's better, VXE R1 Pro or Inca G Hero? VXE R1 Pro clears it by a mile. The G Hero, it's just overrated in my, like, it's just not a great mouse. Like, I don't feel like that is like the type of mouse that somebody's gonna main in 2024, but people like it for the price. Yes, Drunk Deer is fire. Yeah, Drunk Deer is quite good, honestly. And I just need to make my review, but my wooting just doesn't leave my desk. It sometimes does that for like months on end. Final Boy said, yeah, I just mentioned earlier in the stream that I DM'd him about that Sply, and he didn't reply to me. So he might hate me because I have the BeastX Max Zebra collab coming out. That is entirely possible. But, I mean, I don't know. I wish they would do a ULX small Zebra collab with me. But maybe that's not in the cards. I'm no Asu or Tens. Drunk Deer is mid as fuck. Too many shills. I don't feel like it is, honestly. Like, I have no reason to shill it. I just try these fucking Hall Effect boards, and then I just plug my wooting back in. But honestly, it feels the closest in Fortnite to the wooting. And that's really just my only metric I care about. Which Drunk Deer? The A75 Pro. But don't all of them use the same technology, like the standard A75? Is the Type 99 worth it if you made the Saturn Pro? If you want something slower, yeah. I've seen a lot of people are starting to get their Type 99s in, and the feedback seems mostly positive. Sora feels more natural to the hand. It does feel very natural. I've been doing this, like, kind of odd, just fingertip grip, like, relaxed fingertip. It just feels very natural, well-balanced, light, well-built. So I do have a lot of good things to say. It's just the click. It's just, I can't get past the clicks. Drunk Deer is solid for the price, 100% true. How does one fix mouse lag from 4K, 8K polling rate? Do you have, like, a good system or a bad system? Like, if you just have a straight up, like, mid to low end PC, it's probably just not even worth, like, optimizing for. But if you have a good one, I mean, somebody should make a video with more PC expertise, because I just don't want to make a video on it and then have people be like, you're a retard, do 28 more things. And it's like, maybe you should have made the video then, etc. He seems to only be focusing on TAC FPS players when it comes to making these decisions, which seems stupid. I mean, maybe it's just like they have the reputation, they're well known in that scene. But he doesn't seem to focus on CS players, right? Does anybody use the ULX in CS? It's very interesting to me how different the peripheral choice is between, like, CS and Val. Like, there has to be some explanation. I got a high-end system. Have you modified your BIOS settings at all? Like, are you just on, like, stock everything? Because that's the only situation where, in my opinion, you should be getting, like, bad lag with 4K, unless it's a game situation. Is the Sora V2 clicks close to the Sora 4K? In my experience, I don't have a Sora 4K anymore, but I, like, rewatched my video, my click assessment, and just based off memory, they were better. So something it seems to be just weird about this design, but some other people claim to not have the issue, so I don't know. I use it in CS. It's amazing. Yeah, I just meant actual tier 1 pros, because I see a lot of the stage picks like with what they're using. I just don't see many ULXs. How does the Sora V2 shape compare to the X2H? Check Elo shapes, check my review. I don't have a X2H like on my desk at the moment. There is a 1 HP calculator that tells if the mouse is good for your hand. Is it good? What's the link to that? I should do that, because I would say no. Just going off a rule of thumb, like Rocket Jump Ninja's wasn't great, and if Rocket Jump Ninja can't implement it well, it's fucking damn near impossible. That's what I would say. Viper versus Death Adder V3 Pro. I ultimately prefer the Viper. I said I was going to make that video a while back, like in comparison. I just didn't. But if you have a Death Adder, you're really fine. Like, you enjoy the large shape. I wouldn't say it's necessary to switch off whatsoever. How do you feel about the HTR? It's interesting. I haven't used it like as my only mouse, but it's definitely been in my rotation. It's unfortunate that I can't use it for Fortnite. Like, that does kill a mouse to some extent for me. The click quality, like, there's this weird side wobble. I don't know if you can hear it. Probably not. But yeah, there is. The left click seemed to get some wobble, so I don't know if, like, the quality is the best. But the shape, it clicked for me, and then it just didn't go beyond that point. Like, I expected to really have this be my favorite fingertip mouse, but I don't think it is. There are others that are a bit cheaper, but I don't know. Maybe if they make like a 1K version for cheaper. Because 160 is it's a high ask. Will you be reviewing ATK's new or high Hall Effect board, or are you bored of the China Hall Effect? Yeah, I don't know. Probably not, if I had to guess. The just with the Wooting ADHE even coming out relatively soon, I'd just rather wait for that. Should I wait to get the ULX? I don't know. If you really want to wait for the ASU edition, possibly, but they said that might come out within 2 weeks, so that might be worth waiting for, but I don't know enough about it. Anyway, or your mouse situation. Où sont les François? I don't speak French, unfortunately. I'm from India. Here, mouse prices are 40% more expensive. What's good to get? Is a Viper V3 Hyperspeed good? I mean, it's fine. And if you're on like a big price concern and that's a cheap option, might as well get it. How do you keep your mouse pads clean? Just like microfiber Lysol spray, and the fact that I just don't only main a mouse pad for a long time. Also, I don't let my dog walk on my mouse pads, which might seem obvious, but that really can fuck up mouse pads. It's really hard for my brain to accept the G-Wolf's clay, but if it works, it works. I mean, it looks stupid, but I mean, I was just able to get past that because it makes the shape feel better than it did. But I wasn't able to like implement it on other mice yet to a point where I feel like it's been like game changing. Is the GSR2 a good control pad? It's not bad. I'd recommend like a Type 99 over it, just because like, I don't know, it's like kind of outdated quality, like size wise, even though it is like it's better than the original GSR. But yeah, it's not something that I use that much. Hey, what's the best keyboard to get at the moment? I would maybe wait for the Wooting ADHE if you're on more of a budget, potentially the Drunk Deer. I mean, I don't know. I've tried a lot of Hall Effect keyboards, and none of them have really stuck. Can the Endgame Gear XM2W redeem themselves? Potentially. I mean, that mouse is not as exciting as it was a few years ago when it was first announced, but I don't know. How many mice do you have? I'd say over 200. But I give a lot of mice away. I don't sell that many, but I sell a few, so definitely in my life I've had probably 400 mice come through. Well, I mean, not counting Boardy Fest stuff. Oh yeah, speaking of Boardy Fest, can you guys just list random companies? Because I just need to make a list of companies to reach out to, so this could be helpful if you would not mind. Death Adder V3 Hyperspeed review whenever I get it, which should be Monday. X-Ray Pad, they're already sending me 125, so they're doing their part. Also, I have this new anime mouse pad coming out with X-Ray Pad, which I hope can just kill the scene. People are gonna see it, and it's gonna be like when the nuke was dropped. People are gonna be like, we just have to move on from this scene. G-Wolves said they would send some, but I haven't gotten an update, so I'm praying. Red Dragon, they email me, but I don't think we're on good terms. Are you testing the X-Ray Pad Jades? I saw X-Ray Pad announce some new skates called the Obsidian Pro Airs just last night. I can pull that up, actually, as you can see. So maybe I'll be getting my hands on these. But yeah, Jades, I've tried them in the past. Ninjutsu, I'll ask Ninjutsu. It'll be interesting. The XE R1 Pro best budget, yes. Reach out to Mad Cats. I doubt they'd get back to me, but that's not a bad idea. WL Mouse, they said they would send some mice. I'm not sure how many, but hoping for the best. Esport Tiger, hopefully. They seem to be willing to support like community events, just like Esport Lands, but they've never sent stuff to Boardy Fest. But this year, I will pray. Actually, no, it's not true. They did last year. I just have poor memory. Turtle Beach, doubtful considering they wouldn't even send me the mice. Razor, that is not a bad idea, but it seems like the bigger the company, the less willing they are to actually support. Kind of weird. Artisan might be sending out a lot of boardsy, like the Zebra Zero collab, but they also might not be able to get it here in time. So there's just so much stuff in limbo at the moment where it's just like, fuck, I don't know. Because it's kind of close. It's like, I don't know, 3 weeks exactly to Boardy Fest, and I just have, at the moment, nowhere near enough stuff, but it should come in soon. Lethal Gaming Gear, they will be sending out a lot. They will be sponsoring the Fortnite Llama Pinata for the 3rd year in a row. I was thinking like maybe 3 Fortnite Llama Pinatas, but it's ultimately too much. Were you crazy into mice before YouTube? Weirdly, I have been into mice like before I even had a PC. Like and a weird thing is if I actually, because I was like researching mice, I wanted to get the Zowie S2 Divina, but I settled on the G Pro Hero. That's how new I am to mice, like relatively for some of you boomers. But yeah, I feel like if I got the Zowie mouse, I wouldn't have like switched mice as much. I wouldn't have gotten the Model O, and maybe I wouldn't have reviewed mice to the same extent. But yeah, I don't know. I started reviewing mice like kind of early on, like not that early. Boardsy is all grown up now. Yeah, I'm 21. I'm like fucking practically 80. Lamzu Maya or Ninjutsu Sora V2 it's the Sora V2 in my opinion. Just a way better shape, like feeling all around. I don't know. The Maya is something where I tried to like convince myself that it was all right, but I don't know. I don't look back on it as like a top mouse. ATK X1, I don't have it. They should be sending it to me. So there's that. Let's see. They didn't respond to my last email where I sent them my shipping info. So maybe, I don't know. They can't be mad at me. What headset do you have on? The DT900 Pro X might be what it's called. I was thinking about picking up the Fresh Reviews IEMs. Did any of you guys get those? The Aretes, are they called? God, a fucking lot of questions just popping up. Have you tried the PK Control 1? Is that like the Filipino mousepad? I don't think so. I get asked about it a lot, but I just don't know what it is. How are the new Extrafy mice holding up so far? Quite good, honestly. The Ergo really surprised me because I put some time into it, and it's just it's a good shape experience. It's not going to be for everybody. It's definitely like, and I haven't compared it a ton head-to-head versus other Ergos like the Lamzu Thorn, but I feel like I just prefer this. And it's not an EC. It's an Ergo that's not an EC. Who the fuck can believe that? I can barely. Beast X Max drawbacks. Justifying my purchase that gets delivered soon. Weirdly enough, like the drawback is just that it's not the better than a Viper V3 Pro. And I say this with a collab version coming out soon. And also the clicks, they seem to get better after a little bit of time. Like on both of my Beast X Max copies, like out of the box, I'm like the click quality, it feels a little bit questionable, but then it's like they break in and get better, which is not something that I'm used to. That shape looks goated. Yeah, the Extrafy one, and they actually, I hated on the low button height gimmick, but I grip towards the front, so I'm not like at the absolute fucking lowest, like 5 millimeters off the ground. Like, do people really grip their mouse like this? I mean, I guess it's in the cards. Any plans for meetup or LAN party? I don't know what that means. I mean, there's Boardy Fest in a few weeks. That's the closest you're gonna get. In Owl's Head Park, Brooklyn, New York, giving away many peripherals to the masses. M64, like the M4? Yeah, it's like their modified take on the M4, similar to how the M68 is just the modified version of the M8. And that's something that I'll get into in my review. I don't know if I still have an M8 copy, which people always get on me for like, oh, you're hoarding mice, like sell it. But then like something like that happens, I'm like, man, I'm being frauded. Like, I should have every mouse I've ever owned, etc. Is there going to be another ULX batch? Probably pretty soon, according to Final Boy. There's going to be the ASU edition, which might be white and red coming soon. Boardy 50 likes only? What the fuck? Yeah, people don't really like the streams. I mean, I assume people enjoy it, but they just don't click the like button, and I don't really blame them. Looks like the best of both worlds from symmetrical and ergo design benefits. Yeah, and it's something that surprised me, because at first I just like put my hand on, I'm like, eh. And then after, that was before last week's stream, and then after I actually started using it a bit. How should I clean my SkyPad 4.0? Honestly, it sounds tacky, but like they have a thing called glass cleaning like spray or something, and they sent me fucking like a whole barrel of them, like hundreds of them, and it pissed me off because I'm just like, why would you even send me that? But I use it to clean my SkyPad, so I can advertise that. And then yeah, just use that and a microfiber, and that's good. You can also just wash it like a fucking plate, but I mean that any type of glass cleaning spray, it doesn't have to be SkyPad branded, but it's fine. Where does the OP1 8K fit in all of this? I mean, it's just an insane small wired mouse. But yeah, a lot of people, the wire is just such a deal breaker, they won't even consider it. But I don't know, if you're on a budget under 100, I'd say one of maybe, if not the best mouse to get. Windex work? Yeah, I would say so. Some people were schizoing out. I think it was the Whale. He's like, American glass cleaners, like, don't use those. Like, the European ones are cleaner, and it's, I would assume Windex won't fucking kill your mouse pad, but it could be wrong, What browser do you use? I use Chrome. People hate it. They say it's the devil, but it's Chrome. What's that small white fingertip mouse? This is the Dharmashark M5. I believe the official name is Minced Pepper Fishhead, which just pisses me off. I'll probably never say that again. But yeah, it's a new mouse from Dharmashark, and it's really, as opposed to most fingertip mice, which are weird, this is just like a cut off normal mouse. Like, it's not quite a ULX small shape. I'd say it's closer to something like the X2 V2 Mini, but you can see, like, from this view, it looks like it could be a normal size mouse, where some of, like, the HSK Pro, it just doesn't. So I do like the shape. Like, intuitively, this is a better fingertip design than others, but I'm not going to say that it's like perfect or it's like the God fingertip mouse. I gotta test it a little bit more, but the clicks are already a little bit just like very cheap feeling. Not a little bit. Is the Heian still your go-to pad? It definitely, like, probably, honestly, but I've been using a Type 99 a lot recently, and I don't even it's not my preferred pad for Fortnite, but I'm just using it for no reason pretty much. I don't know. I don't have many mouse pads to test. I still have eSport Tiger stuff, but I don't know. What is your hand size? Like 21 by 11, maybe like 20 and a half. Some people are in the conspiracy that my hands are smaller than I say. I mean, I fucking measured them. I could measure them again, I suppose. But I mean, honestly, traditional hand size measurements, like where you measure to the top of your middle finger, like that doesn't really give a completely accurate view of hand size. I mean, some people have longer fingers. There's lots of variables, but my hands are definitely like there's a certain length where a mouse can just be too narrow for me, pretty much. How tall are you? I'm 6'1". Probably, maybe closer to 6'2" than 6'1", but I don't know. I say 6'1". What's that jar next to a mouse box? Those are caffeine pills. Do you have Death Adder V3 Hyperspeed? Not yet, unfortunately. I didn't get that sent out to me from Razer before the drop, and then the day it dropped was the day that Razer said they would send it to me, and I had a feeling like, why not just buy it on Amazon, get it the next day, and then just like have it, but I didn't do that for whatever reason, so it is what it is. Do you hold your mouse at an angle? When I fingertip, definitely a little bit. Like the mouse is pushed like kind of this way. That doesn't make sense. But yeah, when I claw grip, not so much, but still. I think most people do, just based on the way like hands and wrists work. Type 99 static friction comparisons. I mean, I would recommend, have you watched my full review of it? Because that's probably aren't going to get more in-depth thoughts than that. But pretty high static friction, I would say. Like, relatively high. What's your rank at Valorant? I just don't play it. Valorant and CS are just games that don't excite me. They don't fulfill the same itch that Fortnite does. And Fortnite has a new mode dropping today. Just when Fortnite, like, it gets really bad, really boring, they always do something to draw you back in. So, very impressive. How many mice do you buy / get from brands? I mean, percent? Probably at this point, I'd say 75 to 80% is getting sent out. Maybe. Let's see. 2 out of every 10 mice I review, I buy. That sounds about right. Maybe 3. So I'd say, yeah, 70 to 80. How long have you been playing Fort? Since, like, pretty much Season 1 on console. Not, like, pre-Season 1, I don't think. But then I stopped for a while. I switched to PC in, like, 2018, I think. And then played it for a bit. That's how I got adjusted to mouse and keyboard. Then I quit for a while to play Crunker. Then I came back, and it's been my main game for the past, like, 2 years, probably. Is that true? 2.5 years? I don't know. It's just, it can't... Fortnite has me hooked. Does the Zero feel rougher than the Otsu? No. Because that's not... The Otsu's like a textured pad. Do you think the Lamzu Energon is still a good pad? It's a good speed pad. I don't recommend it over the... what's it called? The Infinity Mice Speed. I think that's just like a better version of like the same idea, just executed better, but the Lamzu Energon's not bad. Would you rather Drunk Deer over VGN ATK 60? Just because I've tried the Drunk Deer and I can vouch it. I haven't tried the VGN board though. Do you claw your OG B stacks? It really depends on the scenario, but I preferred to fingertip the medium size. Holy, what you doing with all those mouses? Hello, bro Sundays. I'm doing, God knows what, I'm doing the Lord's work with them. I really love the Infinity Mice Speed V2. Yeah, it's a good pad. I heard they made some new mouse pads. Have you tried 4D gaming pads? I believe they sent it to me like a year ago, last summer, but I don't know where it went. I never tried it. And I know they're like doing a collab with some Fortnite player. Maybe they'll send me that one. When's the Death Hour V3 Hyperspeed coming? Monday. I made a noob move not buying it the day it dropped. That was actually a follow-up to a previous noob move as well, when I didn't call with Razer the week prior to actually get the mouse on time. So, you know, it is what it is. People make decisions, mistakes, etc. What is that black mouse? This is the new Xtrify M64 Pro. So, I just realized the naming scheme. I'm actually like, call me brain dead, but I didn't understand. Like, it's their 6th mouse series, and it's their updated take on the M4, so it's the M64, and then the other one is their updated take on the M8, so it's the M68. Wow, very, very genius stuff. But yeah, these mice, they have some gimmicks. Charging from the side is one of them, low button height, just pretty unique shapes though, which is, I mean, we don't see many shapes like this in the market, so good thing to see. Do you know when Xtrify is planning to drop the M64? An official date, no, but their CEO replied to somebody on my tweet yesterday who asked, and he said he's waiting on the shipment. And then I also DM'd asking if there is any type of review embargo or if I can just post it whenever. If not, I'll just have the reviews out sometime next week. Do you review monitors? Kind of, not really. Like, I'm not an avid monitor reviewer, which honestly, as an aside, it seems to be the most fucking lucrative type of reviewer. I'm not going to get into the details, but good God. I mean, so the affiliate sales on like $1,000, $1,500 monitors, holy shit. I'm reviewing these mice for pennies, guys. But that's besides the point. I just get a new monitor like every year or two, pretty much, and yeah, I'll post a review of it because I just have a more like human take on monitors than most people. So yeah, I just review what I have. So whenever I get an upgrade, I'll review that. Any plans of trying the first? Oh my god, this guy asking for an FK1 Plus C review. Fucking spend 10 minutes like just thinking about that. I don't know. Indian mouse brand, Korea. I didn't even know there was an Indian mouse brand. Maybe if they make a good mouse, possibly. 540 hertz. I don't know. Some people say going back to 1080p. Like I won't mind it, but I also want to go to 1440p 480 hertz when that releases later in the year. So it's just like, which of those makes more sense? Is 540 hertz like really that good? It probably would be. You guys gotta stop spamming. It will only result in a timeout. That's the truth. Truth hurts. Razer Strider, reviewed it years ago. I wouldn't say it's like the go-to Hien clone. In some countries where there aren't many good pads available, I would say maybe go for it. Is it worth to change from EMC 50 by 50 for a Key 83? Man, it's a different type of pad. If you want a faster, like, hybrid experience, and just artisan quality, you could. But I don't know, like, mid. You might want the soft version if you're used to the EMC, but depends on what you want. But yeah, I would say I don't think anybody really ever regrets trying an artisan pad. XM2W4K out end of June/July. Yeah, but that's endgame year's time. Like, you know, fool me once, fool me twice. Like, endgame year has fooled people like 40 times with timelines. So I'm holding my breath until that mouse is available or I have it in hand. Whichever comes first. Are you going to check out the Fantech Helios 2 Pro S? Yeah, they said they sent me it, then they didn't. So what can I do? You know, gotta just throw my hands up in the air at that point. Boardy ULX Cheetah Size when? Whenever Final Boy answers my DM. Let's see, did he answer? Oh, he actually did. I won't leak it, but we'll take a moment. Actually, never mind, I will leak it. I said, is the cheetah really getting discontinued? Shocked emoji. And then he said, it was looking that way. There has been quite a bit of uproar amongst some people over this decision, so we will see. So there you guys go. The mouse news. There's really nothing like this in the world, so leave a like for that. What's the best mouse for $90? OP18K is a good option. The Sora V2, I mean, I guess it's a little bit more expensive. All of Pulsar's non-ES mice are, what is it, $70 now on a sale. So Death Adder V3 Hyperspeed is just a bit above that. So at $90, there's just a lot of mice at that price point. Who's your favorite YouTuber? That's a good question. Like, what? I've not really been watching, but I feel like I do watch YouTube. But I just can't think of, like, a YouTuber I watch. That's weird. Good question. So he still didn't ask if you want to collab. Well, I'll float that idea at some point. I just got here. What noise has what mouse? I presume this one is the G-Wolves HTR. It's a fingertip mouse, and they even include clay with the mouse to adjust the shape. So I have done that. I've seen some people have like put clay around the entirety of the mouse, which that seems a bit bizarre even for me. But yeah, this adds like 1 gram, doesn't fuck up the balancing. But yeah, I wouldn't say this is like one of my favorite mice of all time. What's the Vaxi hate about? What do you mean? Like me or just in general? People seem to hate their warranty, their shipping prices, just their prices in general. He's never going to forgive you for working with WL mouse. It's possible. But I mean, yeah, truth hurts. How good is your aim in Kovacs? I would say it's good. I'm no Matty OW. Boardzycast, #1 guest, Matty OW. But I have plenty of like top 30 scores in like popular scenarios. I don't grind benchmarks though, and that might be a big mistake, because if I could be like, I'm a Voltaic Nova, people would be like, oh shit, this guy's a real beast. Also, I just realized my camera froze talking with my hands, etc. But yeah, I have the #1 score on microshot speed, so go load that scenario up, play it, and then realize that I'm the greatest of all time, potentially. Can you fingertip a Zowie ZA13C? I never liked it for fingertip. When Death Adder V3 Hyperspeed? People have asked this many times. Should be getting it Monday, which means I could like make an initial impressions when I get it, but a review probably won't be for at least another week from this point. But I would imagine, I mean, the sensor's not going to feel bad, but I just find it so weird that they're using a 3395, like not even the 3950. I don't know if they just had like leftover sensors. That's probably what it was. They were finally willing to make a Death Adder Mini, like, because they're like, we need a Death Adder Hyperspeed. We have these leftover sensors. Just give the people whatever they want, and then they did it. So yeah, there we go. Any plans of going esports? Like, playing professionally? Absolutely not. Like, going to esport events? I don't know. There really aren't many in New York City, it seems like. And the ones there are just, like, small scale. Like, I regret not going to the Fortnight World Cup, but I was working at a zoo, so some important things have to take priority. What mouse are you holding? This is the Xtrify M64 Pro, and it's just a really, really unique feeling Ergo that I'll have a review out on soon. These cherry mice look like they're much better. Yeah, compared to the M8 and the M4, in my opinion, these are way better. But it makes sense. It's like they've had a lot of time to work on these mice. The white coating does feel like oddly slippery. Like if you have sweaty hands, I would say probably go for the black, where it is going to like show stains. But I don't know, something about the white coating, it's just like oddly slippery. Even though it is like slightly rubberized, just like the YSL OGM Pro. But I don't think many people have tried that. At a zoo, yes. Yes, at a zoo in New York City. What's up? My Death Adder, got my Death Adder coming in. Can't wait. Yeah. It seems like kind of not a no-brainer, because it is $100, and then you have to pay for a dongle unless you just have a dongle, but not a bad price. 55 gram mini Death Adder. It's like people have been asking for that for a while. Does your aim not feel off if you drop from 390? I cannot aim if my FPS drops. Like, well, if you're getting like screen tearing, that makes sense. But 390, I haven't been on that monitor in well over a year at least, since I got the PG27AQN. I'm gonna ask Final Boy for you. I appreciate that. Then I'll ask him later, and then he's just gonna be overwhelmed. He'll have to say yes, likely. I'm gonna need some info on the BeastX Max. Are you the guy from the last stream who's like, just I need info about the BeastX Max? If so, I got the Boardy Zebra BeastX Max. So this one feels solid so far. I don't really know what to say. It's just like odd. It's like big. It does feel big, but it doesn't feel bad. But it's like something like the Sora V2 definitely feels. I understand that it's like a more natural feeling shape. Yes, that is me. I mean, you just gotta ask questions. Just saying, give me info. That's bizarre. I already got the dongle because of the Viper V3 Pro. I hope you mean the V2 Pro, because if you got the one included with the Viper V3, it's actually not going to work, because they just lock the dongles because they're greedy. But if you got the Viper V2 Pro, then yeah, that one should work. Viper V3 Pro versus ULX Small. If I have really small hands, the ULX Small is just way better, I would say. The Viper V3 would just feel like really bulky. Why don't they do the skin coating on all of their mice? Because it adds to cost, is the most simple and probably true reason. Do any pros use WL? I'm pretty sure I've seen a few in Valorant. But aside from that, I'm not sure. Maybe some Fortnite pros as well. Because they do ship to, like, as weird as it sounds, I know a lot of Russians who use WL mouse because it seems like one of the few, like, brands that ships to Russia. So, I don't know, potentially. What happens at Boardy Fest? Pretty much there's one main line to get to a wheel where you can spin a wheel, and then I will hand you a prize according to what outcome you get on the wheel. And then from there, you can go, like, play carnival games. There's, like, other stations. Hold on, I gotta fucking time out this guy. Like, some of you guys just have no decency. Like, would you go up to a person and just tap on them and just ask them a question 30 times? No, you fucking wouldn't. And now I forgot. I was talking about Boardy Fest. But yeah, you can play carnival games. Some examples are, like, axe throwing. It's really the only example that I'm willing to leak at the moment. I love the look. Is it a collab or is it the Nacho Customs? No, this is the Zebra. The Nacho Customs one is different. But it is surprising that they're both black and white. So I would presume if he knows details about the collab, I would assume they're similar for mine. But I get fucking nothing. But it's kind of on purpose. Like, I don't enjoy, like, talking to these companies, like, getting all the details. I kind of like things being left somewhat mysterious. Where is Boardy Fest? It is in Owl's Head Park in Brooklyn, New York. So it's like... Is it Bay Ridge? Would that be the neighborhood? I don't know. It's just kind of in South Brooklyn. You take the R train to, 95th Street? God. That sounds lit. I need to go to New York. Yeah, I mean, if you're close, like, in the area, I'd say 100% it's worth coming out to. If you're, like, halfway across the country, probably not, unless you want to make a trip out of New York City for the weekend. But honestly, at this point, 3 weeks, somewhat short notice, unless you are rich. Your favorite music artist / song? I just go through these phases. A few years ago it was Blade. Now it's Bob Dylan. Blade's recent album, not bad, but it's not very replayable. But song though, probably Lily Rosemary and the Jack of Hearts. Good song. Finna give me that or what? Which the BeastX Max? Potentially. I might do a giveaway of some of these. Hopefully there can be some at Boardy Fest. I'm not sure, though. Is that a B-Sex Max Zebra? It is indeed. You do look like a Bob Dylan guy. I will take that as a compliment, potentially. Sir Boardy, is Razer going to make new Orochi V3? Thanks. I have no idea. It could be. Maybe, maybe not. I would bet, if I was a betting man, I would say no. Who is your favorite Fortnite pro? Like, personally, like the one I'm rooting on? I don't know. In EU, it's probably SETI. In NA, I mean, Peterbot's like it's a popular answer, but Peterbot's just like a fucking funny entity. But yeah, a lot of, I don't know. I don't really care too much about like who wins, but I do enjoy watching like FNCS. Favorite movie of all time? Is it weird that I just like don't really quite have one? Are you allowed to talk about the new ATK Mice live? Yes. Do I have the mice? No, which is ultimately the deal breaker, I would say. Is that a Cone Pro Air clone? No, not at all, really. It's hard to describe. It's like, I would say it's closest to just like a revised version of the M8, but it's not anywhere near like a one-to-one shape of the M8. Does grip tape fix the annoying side holes of the B-Sex Max? Yeah, kind of. I mean, if you still press really hard, you can like somewhat feel it, but it's not anywhere near as like annoying as the standard slits are. Do you have any tips for gaming content? I mean, what kind of content? Like actual games themselves? It seems pretty hard. Is the B-Sex Max better than the ULX Tiger? I wouldn't say it's objectively better. I prefer the shape, though, because it's more of a true, like, large mouse experience. The ULX Tiger, it just feels like they kind of held back on the size, which is bizarre, because people bought it thinking it was, like, an Air 58. And I told them, I was like, it's not going to be exactly an Air 58. But when I got it, I'm like, damn, this is really not an Air 58. But yeah, the B-Sex Max is a little bit bigger, but it doesn't, like, fucking destroy the mouse, really. And I didn't try a Tarek ULX large, so that could have kind of dampered my experience. Best mouse for Knuckle Claw? I don't know. There was one mouse recently where I tried. I didn't even think I mentioned it in the video. What is that white mouse you have with very long clicks? This is the Extrafy M68 new mouse from Cherry Extrafy. One of their big gimmicks is ultra low button height. So they make the mouse charge from the side, and you get lower buttons. I presume that's the one you're talking about. Opinion on Death Adder V3 Hyperspeed? It seems really good. I'm surprised, like, it's a 55-gram mini Death Adder, essentially. I should be getting mine in, like, any day now, but it's surprising that they launched new sensor features with that mouse. Because they have pretty much raw Excel, they have this, like, mouse rotation angle thing. It is pretty bizarre. What the fuck is Knuckle Claw? It's a grip where, like, as far as I know, you kind of, like, this part of your knuckle, like, makes like, you're clawing like that. Like, it's not your palm. It seems stupid. I haven't ever really used it, but some people might enjoy it. Does the hyper motion in the... What does that mean? What is hyper motion? Is that, like, a term I should know? Best mouse under 45 gram for medium large hands with 8K hertz. I mean, under 45 grams? That seems kind of like, could you really, if you tried the Viper V3 Pro, would you really with large hands be like, damn, this is too heavy? I just don't feel like you would. But that's an option. B-Stex Max. I mean, what are some other good large mice? There aren't many. I'm sure there are. Can you raid me? That's not even a thing on YouTube. Just an insane thing to comment. Is your table always full of mice? Yes, but normally they'll be lined up here, but obviously with the camera I just put them on my desk and then looks a bit better. But yeah, there's always at least 10 mice on my desk. Sprime PM1, that mouse kind of fell off. Like they sold one batch. Are they even selling mice anymore? Let's check. Sprime. Do they even have a website anymore? What is the best mouse feet for small hands? Or, not best mouse feet. What is the best mouse for small hands? There's a lot. It depends. Like, small hand claw is the single most saturated mouse market in the past year. Sprime.gg. how many mice you have. Somebody asked this earlier, and I estimate like over 200 at the moment, but just like that have shuffled through my hands over the years, probably 400. But I'm too kind, you know. I sell mice, I give away mice. Products PM1. No, it's just full sold out. I'll show you guys. So yeah, Sprime. Maybe they are dead. Sold out. Notify me when it's available. Unfortunate, truly. What are your thoughts on? I thought that said Opium Tech, Optimum Tech calling BeastX Mouse worse than Finalmouse. I mean, that was a bizarre video. He was really like hammering on their software. The thing where he like complained about it coming up red because his window was set to that color. I found that kind of funny, but I don't know. He seemed to have gone like the earlier batch. Just wasn't a fan of a few things, but I don't know. WL Mouse it's fine. Like there's just really nothing bad about the experience anymore at this point. My OCD hates how my mice wear, and I hate grip tape. Do the magnesium mice wear better? I mean, how does your OCD also come with like acidic hands? Like, mice shouldn't like wear down rapidly. So I don't know. If you don't play good in a game, do you blame the mouse you're using and change the mouse? Not serious. Like a lot of times I'll say it like as a joke, but then I actually will switch the mouse. But one thing that happens is I'll blame my keyboard a lot when I'll actually just be playing on like high ping. Like a lot of the times in Fortnite I'll play on central servers instead of east, and I'll be like, my keyboard fucking sucks, but I'm just on higher ping. So that's something that has happened unironically a good amount of times. Camera freeze? Yeah, this fucking piece of shit is just overheating. What does that come down to? Is there any way to fix it, or am I just like, is my life just ruined? Oh snap, they brought back Tilted Towers? Apparently they brought in some like rebirth mode similar to Warzone. I don't know. I'll try it whenever I can. Likely after stream. Why does it freeze, man? What the heck? I don't know. And it's like the worst thing that happens in my entire life. Do you know any mice with similar coatings to the MM712? I just can't even think of that. Is that like a kind of textured like chalky coating? People have kind of moved away from those. Best Heian clone sub 40. I don't know. Heian clone sub 40. I mean, what's the wall hack pad cost? I mean, Aqua Control Pro, that's probably above 40, just the normal Aqua Control. Razor Strider, that's an option as well. Thoughts on Playboy Cardi? I really don't understand Playboy Cardi. Yeah, it seems like to be a thing for people who are younger than me, maybe. But I enjoyed, like back when I was a freshman in high school, I think was when Magnolia came out, and I enjoyed that song. But like the new stuff, I'm just too old for it, I guess. Is the Lethal Gaming Gear Boardsy edition a good stuff? It's a fine control pad. I wouldn't say it's like the best mouse pad on the market, but yeah, there it is, shilling my own products. Doing a review of the Death Hour V3 Hyperspeed. Yeah, I should be getting it in on Monday, but hop on Fortnite concert? Damn, that is kind of enticing. Wait, no, it's the Metallica concert. Nah, I'm not fucking... I have standards for the Fortnite concerts I attend. But yeah, I should be getting the Hyperspeed soon. Is that a Boardsy Beast X? It is. Which I kind of like didn't know, because they kept telling me, they're like, we can't do the zebra colorway. It's too hard. And I'm literally telling them, I'm like, what the fuck does that mean? Like, it's a colorway. And like, these are the colorway people. They make mice. So I feel like that was just, they were saying like they didn't want to do a Zebra Beast X Mini with like just some like Chinese sarcasm in some way, but they seem to figure it out for the Beast X Max. Boardsy, do you like Chinese Indian mouses? People are asking me about Indian mice. What the name one Indian mouse right now. Name one Indian mouse. Probably to match the sides too. No, because they did a Beast X like Zebra edition, just the regular one. So they did it before, and then they forgot how to do it. China, this country of geniuses, forgot how to do it. I'm not buying it. Thoughts on Death Hour V3 wired? It's good. It's a great wired mouse for the price, I would say. But was it like $70? It feels a little bit steep. Not crazy, but yeah. I've always said Death Hour V3 wired and OP1 8K are just the top two mice if you want a wired mouse. Why does Optimum Tech say 8K polling rate is bad? He just pretty much says there's diminishing returns past 2K, which isn't. I wouldn't say that's like objectively wrong, but there's presuming you have a good system, like the biggest thing you're going to notice in terms of a negative from 8K is just the battery life drain, which honestly, I use 4K instead in some situations for that reason. God, it's like, some of these people, like, just, good God. The fucking spamming. I might actually have to implement a timeout or, like, some type of slow chat. It's never quite bothered me so much. Etc. Have you had an opportunity to try the Lamzu Tachi? Not yet. I know a lot of people who have, but I'm just not on Lamzu's, like, send stuff early list. And that is what it is. Sorry? I mean, you didn't get timed out, so it wasn't you, but if you... should I buy the Lamzu Atlantis Mini or the Sora V2? Sora will be twice the price? Probably not the Sora. I was going to say the Sora, but at that point, probably get the Lamzu. When's the M5 review coming out? I don't know. I need to use it more, compare it to the Keychron M4, G-Wolf Fingertip Mice. I just got to use it more. But I would say probably not within, maybe within a week. That would be like a early time frame. Jules HTS S2 thoughts. Whenever I get it sent out, I'll have thoughts on it. That's kind of how I am with G-Wolf's Mice. It's just very hard to judge it before they release, but the shape doesn't look bad. More random, but do you have any game that starts with 8K? I have 70. Yeah, I mean, when I'm flicking and clicking in Fortnite on 8K, sometimes it can like frame drop, especially like in real game situations. In creative, generally not. But yeah, Fortnite's still not great with 8K, it seems. Like where Valorant, I don't think you'd have any issues. I saw one comment. You are on Artisan's list, though. Any Artisan pads you have an NDA on? There's no NDA with Artisan, but no, I actually have no... Well, they have the Hayabusa, or like the Hayateotsu V2, potentially coming out soon, but no, I don't have anything like unreleased from Artisan at the moment. What do you think of the R1 Pro Max? Probably best budget mouse on the market. And it's like really cheap because of the F1 and the X1 releases. So it's a good time. Good time to get one, I'd say. When will the Viper V3 release? It's been out for months. Unless you mean something else. Did you use the Sora a bit more? The Sora V2, yeah, I've been using it a good amount. No, nothing besides the clicks. But the clicks are, to me, it's like just kind of, it's just insane. Because I'm evaluating a lot of mice, like their clicks, just how they feel, the structures, and it's just like, this is insane to me, just how much post travel there is. But they don't feel unusable in game, especially if you click like farther towards the top. Looks mushy? Yeah, they're like the most mushy and loose clicks I've ever felt. And other people say they're like bad, their copies aren't bad, so I don't know. It is just very interesting. But yeah, aside from that, I really do get the mouse. What's the difference between with infinite or light switch? What are you talking about? Don't they have like a TTC Nihil and what's the other one? Omron optical switches? Well, I have no idea what you're saying. Those other switches. What is your favorite claw grip mouse of all time? It seems early, but it might be the Viper V3 Pro. Could just be the original GPX. But probably, I mean, even the Endgame Gear XM1R, but I wouldn't say that's as iconic. Thoughts on the Blazing Sky F1/X1? I should be getting an F1 Ultimate soon, like that I actually ordered, supposedly shipped with DHL. But the X1, I'm not so sure. The company, it looks like they want to send me one, but does that mean they are going to send me one? That's the part I'm uncertain about. Top 5 mouse pads you would recommend for TAC FPS? I don't know. I am making an upcoming mousepad tier list, though. But I mean, you can't go wrong with like a 0, I would say. Type 99's an option. Hien's even an option. Even though probably not the Hien would be my first recommendation. Saturn Pro, I mean, there are just so many pads that are pretty much the same. Do you know about the new Deluxe M600 Ultra? Has that been out for a while? I don't know. I don't really keep up with the Deluxe mice. There are just too many of these mid-Chinese mice. Somebody was telling me that, like, Kaisona Aztec. I'm like, is this a real mouse? And apparently it was. VXE R1 Pro or Viper V3 Hyperspeed, $25 price difference. If you care about having a lightweight mouse, I would say R1 Pro probably. Thoughts on Wise Owl Falcon mousepad? I just don't care. Could be great, maybe. Probably not. Mousepad tier list finally? Yeah. I asked people to list mousepads on a tweet last night, and combined with that, my previous reviews and my brain power, I got up to like 80 pads. So if you guys can list some like more niche mousepads, I would once again appreciate that. See the Ninjutsu NPC. I feel like that was on there, but yeah. Inkot G Hero review. I just have to fucking pretty much pump it out at some point. Like, I don't know. It's just such a boring mouse. Like, I'm never going to touch it after a review. But I'm not going to review it and, like, call it bad. I'm just going to be like, it's mid and not great. Should I get the Hien or the Zero? If you can afford it, you should get both because you can save on the shipping costs. And artisan pads are just so cheap right now. Like, you can get... I checked yesterday, and I've made a tweet about it. You can get 2 artisan pads shipped to the U.S. for just over $55 each. Like, that is ridiculous. If you buy an individual pad, it's just going to be a little bit more, like, per unit. What do you think about the R1 Pro? I mean, watch my reviews. Thoughts are pretty much the same, except the quality has deteriorated just a little bit. Like, it's not anywhere near unusable, but, I mean, it does kind of make sense, $50 mouse. But I don't know if it'll hold up to, like, years of hard use. Just a really good budget mouse. G23, better than the... I don't even fucking know what that is, so I'm going to have to guess not. G23, is that like a car? I have the Pulsar glass pad. Do you think there's a need to get a newer glass pad like the wall hack one? No. I find it so funny. Like, the original premise of glass pads was you just buy one and then this is your mouse pad forever. But now glass pads are just a market where they have people addicted to, like, the feeling of glass, and then they just, like, spend $100 on a new pad, like, 6 times a year. And it's like, God, at that point you just have, like, a glass mouse pad addiction. I've seen it all too many times. Inkot G23, I'm just going to guess it's not great. Inkot's mice... they're in just a tier above Ajaz for me, where it's like they're not great. They're not a company driven by the heart. They're just like they're cloning stuff. They're not really great at designing, it seems. Yeah, is the Sora V2 tactile enough? Like the click feel, yeah, they feel like pretty sharp, but they do have just like this very mushy post-travel feeling. Lots of side-to-side play. My hand is 26 by 15. What mouse? I don't even fucking know. That's a crazy hand size. I mean, like, Zowie FK1 Plus, Viper V3 Pro would probably be too small. Same thing with the Death Arrow V3. They don't really make that many mice for people with, like, freak giant hands. Favorite extended full palm grip mice so the palm makes contact? Probably one of them would be a Death Arrow V3 Pro for me. Thoughts on the Endgame Gear EMC? It's alright. It's just like a... it's just a clone. Like, it's pretty much a Saturn Pro, Ninjutsu NPC, just like Esport Tiger, Tangdao, like Boron. There's just a lot of pads very similar to that, but it's fine. It's like good quality. Sora 4K and V2 have different switches and feel very different. Yeah, that just comes down to like the shell implementation. Will there be Type 99s at Boardy Fest or any of the newer Artisan pads? I don't know. I'm going to ask Artisan for an update at some point in the near future because Boardy Fest is soon, but I'm currently under the impression that there might be a good amount of Zebra Zeros, but I don't know about other pads. Maybe. When I was in Japan, they said they would make me like a 16-foot carpet with the Hien material, but I feel like that was more lighthearted. Do you think smoothness is the most important aiming category? I mean, depending on your game, quite possibly. But I mean, a lot of smoothness, people just try to cheese it. Like, very few people are, like, truly, like, super smooth. And it is very impressive when they are. I feel like it helps things transfer over, but I've never focused on smoothness, and look at me. What mouse do you recommend for claw grip there? How big are your hands? What do you want, a heavy mouse or a light mouse? There are just so many other factors. It's the same thing when people are like, what's the best mouse for 100? It's like, there are just so many options. Dharmashark M5 impressions. The shape feels very good. The click quality feels a little bit lacking. I haven't tried it in Fortnite yet, but the sidebutton design doesn't seem horrifying, but I doubt it's still going to be like pretty good for Fortnite. But yeah, just the shape having like flat sides that kind of like taper in towards the top, it just makes sense. And I don't know why other fingertip mice refuse to do it, but it just feels like a chopped off version of just like a standard mouse, which I do like a lot. But also, like, the scroll wheel does seem to have some, like, weird, like, ratchety sound when I scroll up sometimes. Fortnite concert mid? Yeah, I knew I was better off not attending. What's the best mousepad for Xmouse? Yeah, it's a crazy question as well. Raiden soft review? That should truly come this week. And it's going to come alongside the, like, Artisan RM series review, which is their, like, super thick orange foam, which is kind of the reason the review was delayed. Logitech announced something for June 25th. Is it the G3? Oh, jeez. The potential mouse I was potentially talking about. I don't know. That if it is, that is a timeline I was not aware of. That's the way I would say it. I used V6 and hated it. I went to V3 Pro and loved it. Yeah, it's pretty much what I say in my V3 Pro review. So, good opinions. Hey, Boardsy, is Sora V2 worth upgrading from the OG Sora? Like, was there a Sora V before the Sora 4K? If you're on that one, probably. I just, like, my brain can't even remember that far back. Viper Mini alternative. That's a good question. We've still surprisingly just yet to see, like, a one-to-one Viper Mini pretty much, but just the small claw grip market, very saturated. Bro, there's no way you got on another account to fucking spam. How old are you? I already timed him out. I can't even get Daily Stories YouTube age. What are you even asking? Are the Maya and the Atlantis Mini compatible? What the fuck does that mean, man? Just terrible. Frankly. Do any of your ULX copies have a slam clicking issue? No, surprisingly. That's one thing I haven't had. The first BeastX Mini I had did, but it's not the same thing. Best Artisan Speed Pad? I mean, the Heian isn't as speedy as the Shiddinkai was, or like the Raiden. Even though new Raiden's pretty, like, fucking slowed down. But yeah, I would say the Heian, probably. Thoughts on the Mercury M1 Pro? I don't think it's good. Are metal mice actually worth it? I mean, some companies were making metal mice for, like, no reason. Like, I think Daryu's a good example. Mchos. Is there even another one? Maybe another shitty one. But a well-made metal mouse is pretty good in my opinion. Finalmouse showed me some, like, scientific, like, material density and strength stuff, like, years ago, that showed magnesium was, like, the optimal thing. So I do think there's some merit, and, like, we have tried plenty of good metal mice at this point. So yeah, it is what it is. Why do I hear about Lamzu Atlantis a lot? Because it was very, I would say, like, in 2022, early 2023, like, Lamzu was at their peak, but recently, I just have not, like, none of the Lamzu releases have been a hit for me. But a lot of people still do, like, the Atlantis Mini because they have very small hands, and the standard Atlantis, it's like the XM2 wireless, but now Endgame's finally gonna fucking release their version. Lamzu Maya feels slightly too small. Any larger recommendations? 18.5 by 10.5 cm hands. I don't know. The Maya's, like, weird because it's not high profile, but it's also, like, not, like, super narrow and small. Viper V3 Pro would probably be a bit too big. Finalmouse Medium maybe. XM2W probably too big. Lamzu was the first wireless XM1. True. Does the Heian have a softer texture than the Hayatotsu? No. But you just gotta learn to embrace it. Why does this camera is just a piece of shit? Could it be that it's old? Do cameras, like, get old and become worse? Yo, Borzy, how are you doing, bro? I'm doing amazingly. Just doing weekly live streams. Never thought I'd be able to do that again. But here we are. Is the difference between 3395 and 3950 really noticeable? I've tried a good amount of 3950 implementations now, and I don't think it's, like, a huge step above, but if I was making a mouse, I would opt for a 3950 over a 3395. And just for reference, oh fuck, my camera's not even on, man. See, this is terrible. See, it is like 100 degrees, so I do understand. It's probably more than 100. Why won't my camera activate? Jesus. But yeah, the B6 Max 4Z edition does have a 3950. Only bad thing about V3 Pro is 1000 hertz wired when charging. Is that really an issue for you? Like, you can't you can't see the dongle like is orange and plug the mouse in the next time you go to like do something, and then just like have it charged. Are you really using the mouse while it's wired? That is just bizarre to me. Camera overheating. It's so fucking annoying to me because today is probably the worst it's ever been, and I have no idea why. I didn't have my ring light on beforehand. I had my camera off, but you know, the camera fucking shows no mercy. Point a fan at the camera. Would that actually help? Maybe. I mean, it couldn't hurt. Maybe it could. What's the difference between 3950, 3950 high speed, 3950 ultra? Absolutely nothing. It is just bullshit marketing. There's only one PixArt part number for the 3950. So, yeah. You just gotta be sharp. Don't fall for the cunning Chinese tactics. USB cables might be melted. They aren't. Maybe, though. That's not a bad idea. Yeah, it might actually. What's your thoughts on the M5 so far? It's a good shape. This is what I've said, and it's just it's a design that makes more sense to me than a lot of like other fingertip mice because it just feels like, if you guys remember like the chopped mouse trend, that's what it feels like. It just feels like a normal mouse with flat sides that somebody chopped and made optimal for fingertip. I don't like the 37, 38 gram weight. It does feel too dense in my opinion. Like this should be lighter. Like please, somebody explain to me how the Sora V2 can be within like 1 or 2 grams of this mouse. It fucking doesn't make sense to me. But yeah, that's really the only thing I would complain about. It's more of a nitpick. Like it doesn't feel awful for fingertip. Best fingertip mouse of the year so far? For me, it's the ULX Cheetah. I know that answer might not satisfy people, but I've tried a lot, and that's what it is. V3 Pro clicks could be better? Yeah, I wonder if anybody's been able to swap Omron opticals into the mouse and see how they feel, because that's like the one decision that could make it feel better, but in game I have no issues with the clicks. What keyboard are you using? I'm using the Wooting in the Blade 60 case. It is what it is. It's standard for me. I have tested the Drunk Gear, but I haven't plugged it in a few weeks probably. I do have the IKEA pad. How can I stitch the edges? It's just not worth doing. You would need like a, I don't even know. Would a sewing machine do it? Do you need like a special stitching machine? And it's like you're just not even going to be able to do it well, most likely. Unless you have stitching experience, in which case you wouldn't be asking the question. So I would just say leave it alone. IKEA pad? Yeah, IKEA made a cloth mouse pad. And it was very good for the price. It was like, what, $10 or something? Which Wooting? The 60HE. It's like the only one really that's relevant at the moment, I feel. I have my full-size one somewhere. And then the 80HE they should be sending to me whenever it's ready. Would you recommend the Lamzo Atlantis at this point? Probably I would wait for it. I would wait for the endgame gear, like XM2 wireless, like the proper one. New Cherry Extra 5 mice, any good? Yeah, I think they're both good. They both have like, I don't know. The Ambi one is probably a bit harder to recommend. Just in my opinion, with the Viper V3 Pro existing, it's just not better, and they're similarly priced enough to the point where it's just like I would say get a V3 Pro. But the Ergo one, God, something in my throat. Like the more I use it, the more interesting it is to me. ATK F1 Ultimate review coming up when I get the mouse. I mean, it's on the way from DHL. I can do a live check on stream, see when this will come. How long? I've been streaming for 1 hour and 13 minutes. God, I have just, feels like it's been less time. Time flies when you are having fun. Let me search in my email. ATK DHL tracking number. Shipment has departed from Hong Kong. Delivery estimate June 24th at the end of the day. Okay, so should be Monday. Should get this the same day as the Death Hour V3 Hyperspeed. There are so many new mice. What do you guys want to see a review of first? Probably the Extrafy stuff, right? Let's Go Mets? True. I mean, I was checked out of this season very early on, but ever since, like, they've been kind of turning it up a bit recently, so I do respect that, and I can get a bit more interested in the season. Is this true, though? This shipment has been given a release status by customs. So I don't know if this will actually get here Monday. that could be false. ATK F1 Ultimate Review. I'm on the tracking page right now. I mean, I can't do anything. It's in DHL's hands, so maybe go to DHL's stream and ask them. Thoughts on minced pepper fish head? I'm not calling it that, for one. But I would honestly say, like, go back 2 minutes because I just spoke about it. But it's a good shape. I don't love the weight. But the shape is just so good for a fingertip mouse. But I feel like somebody could honestly make this 10 grams lighter, maybe, almost. The 3950 market going on right now is pretty good. Yeah, and we haven't even seen the second, like, wave of it. Like, when Endgame Gear, Lamzu, Pulsar, like, when they release their options later in the year, that's going to be a whole nother thing. What's your favorite sport? Like, history-wise, baseball, just game-wise, football, like the NFL. The NFL is a great league, regardless of what you want to say. Like, there's a reason the NFL is bigger than, like, every soccer league combined. It's just the truth. I mean, cricket. Good God. Does anybody watch cricket in here? One person? That sport is. The people are just lucky Americans have not, like, picked up that sport. Can you review Optimum Tech's Zero Mouse? I reviewed a prototype a while back. I don't know if I'll cover it again. Maybe if he does another drop. Is it, like, in stock right now? Or is it just, like, a 3D print file type of thing? Should I get Artisan from Amazon? I wouldn't recommend it. If you're in the U.S., JP Gaming, they sell Artisan pads officially. Artisan's website, obviously, is where I recommend getting it from. Thoughts on Keychron M7? Is that even a thing? Or are you just making that up? Do you think ATK F1 Ultimate is worth pre-ordering? I don't know. I mean, I ordered it just because I figured that would be the only way I could get one to review. And it's taken a long time to show up since they, like, announced it. But yeah, I would wait for a review, honestly. The only unit I've seen so far, well, I've seen a few people have units. It seems like Aim Adapts has issues. Do you think Beast X Max is better than the Beast X Wireless in any... What? Like, it's just the medium versus the large size, so it's just entirely preference. Have you tried the Fantech Helios 2 Pro S? No. They said they sent it to me for review, but it's been a long time since then, and I don't know if they actually did. But I will, since a few people have asked, I will shoot them a DM and be like, what happened, etc. What do you think about the M3 Micro? I don't know. Haven't gotten my hands on it. But just insanely small, like narrow, generally not what I like. VXE R1 Pro versus Zalpin Z1 Pro? I would say R1 Pro for most people. I just don't love egg shapes. Best mouse for Valorant? I mean, I would say your hand size matters much more than the game you play when it comes to a mouse. But Viper V3 Pro, can't really go wrong. Motion sync or no? I've been using motion sync off for a while. Some implementations I'll use it on. It's not like a deal breaker, but if I have the choice, I generally turn it off. VXE R1 Pro versus Sora V2 in shape. The R1 Pro has like flatter sides. It's just more like I'd go on ELO shapes. This is actually one of the rare examples where ELO shapes kind of tells the story. But yeah, the Sora V2, it feels a bit more natural for like some type of like hybrid claw grip I have going on. My hand size is 19.7 by 9.4 cm. Yeah, Viper V3 Pro seems like a good option. Review the ATK X1. Tell them to send it to me. Hold on, I'll check my email once again. This is like an email and DM checking stream. See, did they get back to me and it went to my spam again? No. Okay, so they just ghosted me. So I don't know what it comes down to. Have you thought of covering DIY mice like the 1010 Gravity? I used to try a lot more of those like 3D printed, like modded, kind of unique out there mice, but it got to a point where I just like most of them are kind of mid. But maybe some of them deserve a chance. You can only pick F1 or X1 mouse for review. Yeah, it was funny. A lot of people didn't get. Like, hold on, I'm gonna go back to this tweet. Like, a lot of people thought I was just trying to call out the company, but just literally every aspect of the message. Hold on, I can show my display. Like, it starts out, they're like, it was in my spam folder. They thought it's spam. They're like, the first bullet point, they're saying you can only get one mouse. They're like, fucking prove your identity, which is just bizarre. But they saw my post and they realized it was me. Then they were like, we need the video within a week, snap, and then we need to check your video. And so it's just like, do you accept these? It was just, I've never had any terms like that to review a mouse. And there are a lot of people in the comments like, oh, they're sending you a free mouse. Obviously, there's gonna be stipulations. Like, it's just not how it works generally. So, rant aside, I should be getting a mouse from them. I explained. We made up in the DMs, in the emails, etc. Do you play any games but Fortnite? Not like actively. I've tried. Like I'll dip my toes in a game. I'll be like, this game sucks, and then I go back to Fortnite. And this is a cycle that has lasted like at least 10 games at this point. So I don't know. You make reviews, not advertisements. Yeah, I mean that's like literally the only time in my YouTube career that I have shown people a video before posting is like when I need to get an ad approved by like just like an integrated ad approved, like by fucking Squarespace or something, or Temu saw my video beforehand. The fact that video got greenlighted is still one of the funniest things in my history. Hey, recently subscribed to you. Any reviews on the G Hero? Yeah, I mean, I would say it's mid. To me, it is a much more mid mouse than the reviews describe. Like, I understand the price, but after the 4K dongle, like, isn't it close to like $70-$80? Like, I don't know. It just doesn't move me. And I feel like people who want Vaxi aren't people who are like penny pinching for budget mice. It just doesn't beat out Vaxi, I feel. ATK X1 is pretty much an exact copy of the Viper V3 Pro, smaller sidebinds and smaller skates, slightly different coating, hard to tell the difference in hand. I'll believe it when I see it. Like, I just still yet to try one. And maybe they'll send me it, maybe not. If not, it'll probably be a while until I get it. Unless they just like ship out immediately. Everyone forgot about the VXE R1 Pro? I don't think people forgot. This camera though, just a brutal situation. G Hero on Chinese website with 8K dongle is around 35 USD. Shipped to the US with the 8K dongle, it's 35. I mean, that at that point it's not a bad price, but I've seen it much higher. I've only seen it for like 50. But I mean, then again, if you penny pinch on AliExpress and wait for the right deals, you can find fucking anything for like $20. Just got a Kurosawi. Is that like the? Is that the fake company, or did you just like get a typo? Because I know there's somebody like imitating Kurosan. Thinking V3, upgrading a Basilisk, playing exclusively CS. I think Viper V3 Pro makes sense from the Basilisk. I don't know. What two cameras are you using? For the hand cam, it is Sony ZV-E10, and then for the face cam, it's the Razer Kaio Pro Ultra. You want my X1 Ultra? I will send it to you. I want to keep the X1 Pro as it's lighter at 49 grams. Yeah, I'll buy it from you, honestly. If you're willing to do that, like after your review, of course. But yeah, just shoot me a DM on Twitter. We can set that up if you are serious, Gen 3D Tech. Elmeo, you sound so surprised hearing about the Basilisk. It's just like, it makes the gears in my brain like grind for a second. I'm like, wait, that's a mouse people use. It's like when somebody comments on one of my videos saying like the G502 is better. I'm like, how'd you even fucking wind up here? If you were to choose between the VSX ULX choose forever, which one would you go for? I don't know. I would pretty much flip a coin. But probably out of all of their lineups, forever I would just use like the ULX Cheetah. I'd force my hands to be more narrow. Like that thing they used to do like Chinese women's feet. Not that that was a good thing, but it's just emulates the same idea. And I would just use the ULX Cheetah for the rest of my life. I play Fortnite and CS2. Should I buy OP1 8K or Death Adder V3 Hyperspeed? It just comes down to hand size. If you want a small, narrow mouse for either claw or fingertip, I'd say OP1 8K. But if you want slightly larger, somewhat EC feeling mouse, I'd say Death Adder V3 Hyperspeed. But yeah, just Ambi Ergo, smaller, medium. All my coworkers think G502 and G915 are cream of the crop. Yeah, I mean, that's the power of big brands. What is the best mice for $100? Oh, God. I don't know. There's no answer. There's your answer. Have you heard they might discontinue the cheetah size? Yes, but oh, fuck. Yeah, Finalmouse should be keeping the size up. What nationality are you? I am a Eastern European mutt, more or less. Pretty, like, I don't know, like Russian, kind of Polish. Will you review the F1 Ultimate? Yeah, they just got to send it to me. I feel like I've answered the same question about 1,000 times in the past 2 weeks. Just bought the OP1 8K. Thoughts? It's really good mouse for the price. Maybe for the guy who asked best mouse under $100. There you go. HDR 8K review. When? I don't know. I should have reviewed it by now probably, but I just kind of got caught off guard by a few other releases, so I don't know. Pulsar mice went from 100 to 65. Yeah, I saw that. Pretty. I mean, they're good prices now, but that just means they have a new lineup coming out soon, most likely. Viper V3 Pro has a horrible shape. I can't see why anybody would recommend it. That's just brain damage, unfortunately. Still on the hunt for a ZA13 clone. People just refuse to do it. I don't know why anybody would, like, clone the NP01 before the ZA13. Thoughts on the X2V2/X2H Demon Slayer collab? I don't know. It doesn't seem like they've made many good X2V2 mini collabs. Unless they have, and I've missed them. But that's really all I would care about. I feel like the X2H, they just, like, gets all of the collabs. Viper V, read that one already. How does one start a gaming peripheral channel with no money? It's tough. You generally need money to buy products to start off. It seems like some people have, like, taken reviewing and they've just made it into, like, just finessing free products. Like, I don't know, like, only reviewing stuff that gets sent out. Like, I could not imagine of building up a review catalog like the size of mine by doing that. But, you know, some people, I mean, that's just a way to go about it. If I buy the Death Arrow V3 Hyperspeed, will my dongle work with my V3 Hyperspeed? Yes. Wait, like the 4K dongle or just the standard dongle? How are Razer sensors so good? I use the Viper Ultimate like 2 years and it switches U2 and it feels for me sensor is better. Well, those actually are using the same, like, sensor, weirdly. But Razer just, like, they have, like, access to more tuning than other companies do. But I don't know. I would say the difference shouldn't be noticed. Like, the Viper V3 Pro and the Zowie U2, like, you might have more of an argument. Is motion sync worth it? I would say, I mean, just experiment with it on or off. It's like a question where, like, if you're asking this and you have a motion sync setting, I feel like you can, like, answer it. Do you think the Beast X is too flat? For Claw, the medium size is a little bit for me, but I don't know. I mean, it just depends on your preferences. I prefer mice with a bit higher humps. Mouse clay, we will all get it eventually. True. Glock should make a mouse. I don't know if that's really in the cards. Mice are hard to make. That's what I have learned. Lots of moving parts. Is the Viper V3 good for palm grip? I mean, if you want an ambi mouse for claw grip, I'd say it's probably one of the better ones. I've spent like 10K in products over the last 2 years. Reviewing is an expensive hobby. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, if you like trying to review with no money, I mean, at some point you can make some decent money off affiliate links to pay for products, but I don't know. I have the Death Arrow V3 and it's a little too big, and a Zowie U2 and it's a little too small. What should I get? As basic as it is to say, I think the Viper V3 Pro. What keyboard are you using? Wooting 60HE. Just the best keyboard. Thank you for your content, Boardsy. I'm greatly appreciative. Happy to hear that, Super Drone. Appreciate that. Claw mouse for 20x9 hands? I mean, there are plenty of good options. It wouldn't be my top recommendation, but I have this Xtrfy M64 Pro. Not bad. But yeah, Viper V3 Pro, really just the safest one. Saw a video of Dharmashark hand carving shapes. I would be suspicious of that. That seems just like a joke, because they're just like known for stealing designs. So it's like they would just, you can just see somebody doing that like nefariously, but I could be wrong. Is there a way to mod full skates on the Death Arrow V3 Pro? I mean, I guess like if you sandpapered the mouse down. Motion sync adds more latency than you save from going from 2 to 8K. Not saying that matters, but it is worth thinking about. True. It has... What do you think of the ATK F1 Ultimate? I think it should... I think the customs people in China should let me have it. Likely. Would you say the Viper Mini has heavier clicks than the Viper V3 Pro? Off memory, probably, but I don't have like a Viper Mini handy. What's your favorite mouse with a calm silly hump? I don't even know what that means. Okay, here we go. Camera's back. Dot skates or large pad skates for glass mouse pads? For glass pads, I don't think it actually matters as much. But large pad skates do play more controlled, and I guess I prefer them. And I actually have been using the, what's it called? The SkyPad 4.0 just a lot recently. I don't really know why. If I use 12800 DPI, no, 100 cents in Minecraft. No, you can't. Finalmouse is not Minecraft friendly. Happily. So, there you go. Is it worth it to upgrade to an 8K mouse while having a 144Hz monitor? No, in my opinion. I mean, like, the monitor upgrade will do a lot more for you than the 8K mouse will. When will you cover Death Hour V3 Hyperspeed? I should be getting it on Monday. I unfortunately wasn't able to get one, like, before release, so, you know, I will get it eventually. I know, but, like, is the DPI go up to 12,800? You can't put it as 12,800. The sensor's capable, but they're just not Minecraft friendly. What's the news on the new ROG mice? I don't know. I doubt. I haven't gotten any word on it, so I just figure it's a decent amount of time out. What do you think of mouse acceleration trend? People say it's better in normal. Since I tried it years ago, I switched back to normal. I feel like 90+% of people who try it just switch back to normal because it just makes sense. Like, naturally you just don't want acceleration once you're used to aiming, I feel. But Razer's new mouse, the Hyperspeed, like, it has a built-in feature like that, so I'll try it, but it's just, I don't know. Which mice is the Viper V3 Pro similar in terms of click feel? Wait, specifically? I mean, I guess the Death Adder V3 Pro, like, Razer's opticals, they aren't, like, exactly the same feeling as other optical switches, for better or worse. XM2 8K gonna go hard. So the XM2 is gonna be 8K, but the OP1 wireless is gonna be 4K. Am I correct, or do I have something mixed up about that? Best mouse under 100. Razer fan here, but any brand will do. I mean, the Death Air V3 Hyperspeed, I haven't tried it, but that is under 100. New mouse from Razer. OP1 8K, I mean, there's so many options. So whenever you ask a question like that, you gotta include your hand size or, like, shape preference or something. Do you know what mouse House has been teasing on Twitter? I figured that was either the Death Adder, the new Extrafy mice, or it's not the new Logitech mouse, which may or may not exist. I have no idea. Wired is 8K. Yeah, I know the with the XM2, the wired is 8K. Is that what you're saying? Is the Viper V2 Pro still worth it if it's really cheap, maybe? The Sora clicks got so much worse on my copy. Yeah, and that's, like, obvious to me. That's, like, the part of the issue. I'm like, if it's this, if there's room for this much mushiness, like wobble, just shittiness in the clicks out of the box, like, it can't get better. So I'm like, it's just a seriously flawed design, but it's bizarre to me. I just keep saying that because I almost can't believe it. Would you say Viper V3 Pro clicks are light? My Viper V3 Hyperspeed has the Gen 2 mechanicals. See, the Viper V3 opticals in my white unit, they are a little bit heavier than they are in the black ones, but I've just used the white ones. I value a light, spammable feel and click, and you can see they have a fast feeling. Like, you won't find them heavy, like, impossible to spam. I still need to try a new super light copy. Which mice are Minecraft friendly and go up to a DPI of 12,800? I mean, the Viper V3 Pro, you can customize DPI down to a single DPI. Why don't you have SkyPad or any glass heads and seal of approval? Because I've never thought it makes sense to spend over $100 on a slab of glass when you can get 2 artisan pads for less money. I mean, SkyPad, it's like, I don't know. I respect, like, their mouse pads, but they're making like 4,000 of those anime mouse heads. That is just crazy to me. They're just like taking advantage of mentally ill people, which I don't support. Where's the Death Air V3 Hyperspeed? I should be getting it soon. On Monday, precisely. R1 Pro is great. I bought it since that vid and it's still good. No problems. Happy to hear. Yeah, it's the easiest budget mouse recommendation. I was kind of Jesus, I fucking had a stroke. Recommending the Dharmashark X3, but it just wasn't like, it would have quality issues. People would complain. People would fucking have to do a firmware update, and literally half of them would brick their mouse. I don't know if that's just like, if my viewers were a bit limited in terms of intelligence or like what. Maybe that's just a common issue. Do you stream gameplay as well? Not too much. It's just never, like years ago, I streamed Crunker a lot, but it's just like, I don't know. Never been my thing. But maybe if the new Fortnite mode is good, it's a possibility. Is the Viper V3 Hyperspeed good for Valorant? I'm sure it's fine. It's a little bit heavier than what I am used to, I'd say. I mean, I don't even play Valorant, but I don't think many people use it. V6 feels uncomfortable for me since my index finger and ring finger end up on top of the hole cutouts. Do you think X2V2 is a good alternative fingertip grip? It could work for sure. Have you tried grip tape? Like, does it still bother you even with grip tape? Who mouse is the orange? That is the Incot G Hero, which I should get to at some point. I know this is kind of useless to ask, but how much money is all of the mice you have total? I counted it like a year back or something, and it was a lower number than I expected. I think it was like around 12K then. I'd assume it's like 15 to 20K now. But it's like, I don't know. Peripherals, like, it's a very low cost per unit. Like, people have audio collections worth like hundreds of thousands of dollars. So I just view it like that. And I also collect like a lot of like vintage sports memorabilia. So I understand like there are markets where fucking prices are just absurd, but the mouse market, it's cheap. So people saying like, I want to review mice, but I can't afford it. It's like, you're not going to find a cheaper hobby to review stuff in, most likely. What the fuck? You're still streaming? Yeah, I plan to only go around an hour and a half. And here I am, an hour and 37 minutes into the stream. How can you get rid of the mush that mice get over time? Like in the clicks, there's like a billion things you can do. If you like just ask on Reddit, like look at some DIY videos. I usually just get a new mouse. Like that's just the option for me. I understand for everybody. Doesn't make sense. You got the Sora 8K dongle. No, I don't think anybody does. Truth hurts. But maybe I will at some point. But honestly, the mouse feels good. Like, I don't suffer performance-wise with 1K, but it's more... I don't want to say it's, like, only the principle, but it's a lot. Just, like, they promised an 8K dongle at launch. Like, imagine a company who's like, the mouse is going to be 40 grams, then it's, like, 60 grams, and they come out and people are like, well, does weight even fucking matter on a mouse? Like, that's kind of how I feel about the 8K dongle situation. More excited, XM2W or XM2 8K? Definitely the wireless version. Like, just an endgame gear wireless XM1 shape. Like, I can't even... It's hard to even imagine that being a real thing. At least the shipping is going to be free. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't hold my breath. True, it is a real Finalmouse cosplay. What mouse has the Model O shape but Logitech quality? Nothing. I mean, the closest in terms of like a flat shape like that, maybe the Razer Viper V2 Pro, but that's, at this point, it's a little bit outdated. Can you honestly feel or notice the difference between 4K and 8K? It really depends on the situation, and only in Kovacs is where I would be able to notice that. I don't play Valorant, but I mean, that game seems to, like, Valorant and Overwatch seem to have really good, like, mouse input experiences, so it's potential there as well. But in Fortnite, no. Like, oh, it's only 8K, like, causing worse performance generally. But between 1K and 4K, like, absolutely. The worst part is they only communicate when you tweet. Yeah, it is. It's kind of funny. Maybe. I mean, I don't know. They haven't communicated since my last tweet, so it might not be a good sign. So, Death Air V3 Hyperspeed is using internal battery. Razer is cooking something. Yeah, I don't understand the Razer naming scheme. Why they also aren't calling it a mini. Like, they just seem like they have trauma, like, with a mini size not selling well. So now they just refuse to, like, try it. They refuse to call mice that. Very bizarre. Do you think they'll make a mini signature edition of the V3 Pro? Hopefully, honestly. That's something I could get behind. Because I think part of the reason I never really loved the Viper mini signature is I was not as much of like a true Viper Mini fanboy as other people were. So like when it came out in wireless at a weight that didn't really impress me, I don't know. But like a Viper V3 Pro signature, that could move mountains. Viper Mini didn't sell well. That's what they always say, but I don't know if that's like unit wise, because they sold, I'm like positive they sold a fuck ton of units, but they also it's just such a cheap mouse. Maybe it just didn't like make them enough money, but it's something's weird about it. Main difference between R1 SE and R1 Pro: the R1 SE has a shitty sensor and a worse coding, and it's just overall a lower quality offering. So I would go for the R1 Pro under any circumstances. I don't care if you have $10 to your name. Save up 10 more, and then 10 more. Found Hayate O2 inconsistent. Zero soft and soft on the way. That's interesting. I don't really... The O2 Hien Key 83, I don't notice any like inconsistency. Is it $33.99 or $33.95 because they never used 95 on previous mice? Who, Razer? Like with the Death Arrow V3 Hyperspeed? Probably, it's probably $33.99 if that's what you're saying. When I said $33.95 earlier, I just meant like $33.95 generation. My Sora V2 middle clicks are double clicking if they've ghosted my RMA request 3 times. That's interesting. I mean, yeah, there were some like bizarre QC issues where like people just like, it's like their switch failed or something and they would just get like weird inputs. Or maybe that was just a firmware thing, but I don't have any of that. It's just the click quality. Like the V3 Pro, but it's a bit too big. Would the OP1 8K be a good alternative? The OP1 8K would just be so much smaller and more narrow. I feel like you'd find it too small. So you like want to find something like in between those two mice in terms of size. I mean, ULX, yeah, ULX medium, like B-stacked medium, I'd say those are like potentially good options. Sora V2 comfy for big hands. With my hands, it's like, it feels fine. And my hands are definitely larger than most people who use these like small claw grip mice. But like super large, like super wide hands used to a huge mouse, maybe it would feel a bit too small. But it's like the way it flares out, it kind of like locks me in, and I don't have any complaints about it feeling too small, wobbly. No, not just you. Everyone is saying $33.95. Well, I think, I don't know who that rumor spawned from. Do you ever have an issue with a mouse's side button positioning? I have a B6 Max and I feel like I'm reaching for a front side button. I don't have an issue reaching them, but I just wish they protruded from the mouse a little bit more. Boardsy, why? I don't know what you're referring to. Unfortunate. Superlight Empire has officially fallen. I still haven't tried a new batch Superlight with the supposedly lighter clicks. That could be great. How do you like the scroll wheel on the B-Stacks Max? I like it a lot. Much better than their early scroll wheels. Just like the new texture, it just feels standard. Did Extrafy send you the M50? What's the M50? They sent me the M68 and the M64. I don't even know. Reviews on the ATK Mice soon? Yes. They just need to ship the order I bought and send me the review unit they said they would send. So there are multiple things that need to go down. Is the Sora V2 battery life as bad as people are saying? I don't think so. I don't have mine plugged in. I was just about to check. But yeah, it's 1K competitive mode. It doesn't seem noticeably bad in any way. I use my B-Stack sometimes with 1K competitive mode as well. Seems around the same. Remind us what your hand size is again. Thanks. Like 20.5 by 11, 21 by 11, something like that. I'm currently using FM10's medium. My middle finger extends and it goes out of the mouse. Any long, lightweight mice you reckon? Really big hands. Maybe Viper V3 Pro. It's just like it's a step up from the size. Should definitely wait. I have a small Finalmouse, not the medium, but you can kind of see. Like it's just much longer. Could work. When will you review the Death Arrow V3 Hyperspeed? Soon. Trust me, soon. Should be getting it on Monday. Then I'll probably just make an initial impression sometime throughout the week because that's what the people want to see. Gigantus V2 and V3 Hyperspeed a good budget combo? If you're in a country where there aren't many good mice, yes, but if you're in America, I think you can do better. 2 to 3 days are the reports. It seems to be better than that for me, but I'm not using it like exclusively. I don't know. I'll keep that in mind. Do a live unboxing? Potentially. I just never like streaming on the weekdays because I figure people wouldn't watch, but it's like Then again, is that really the case? Like, are all of my viewers like in work during the day? Probably not. What hertz monitor do you need to notice a difference? I'd say minimum 240 hertz. Like below that, you're just better off like getting a good monitor rather than upgrading your mouse specifically, because with the better monitor, your input is going to feel better on any polling. Whoa, my Sora V2 gets like a week of battery? Yeah, that's more like of the level that I'm expecting, but it's entirely possible. And it seems like battery QC is a real thing as well. Kind of new here, but what do you think is the best mouse on the market? Viper V3? Yeah, Viper V3 Pro, in my opinion, it's just it clears the rest of the market at the moment. But there are very good options, and budget pens as well. How close should the wireless dongle be from the mouse? I'd say within 12 inches, within a foot. Like, don't have it like super far away. It's a good rule of thumb. But yeah, apparently silicone lottery is a thing with mice too, and they're like polling rate stability. I did not know about that until G-Wolves put me on. But yeah, how long have I been live? An hour and 45 minutes. I think that will be all for the stream. It was a good stream. That's all I gotta say. I might have to delete the VOD. And so if you were here, potentially a very special stream. But yeah, peace out. Respect your elders. Read the Bible, etc. But yeah, peace out.